Good evening, everybody. I realize that this is kind of bad form that I'm not here with you all tonight in person, but I'm in Las Vegas being recognized by my company for 25 years of service. Hugh, you were mayor for what, 8 years? After 8 years with my company, I went from 3 to 4 days of vacation per year. Yeah, this is a big deal tonight, but I'm just saying. Okay, so the first thing I need to fess up to my brother from another mother is that I did indeed say behind your back that you could be a bit prickly. And sure enough, your network reported that to you, and it came up in future conversations. I want to start this evening by saying, Hugh, I was wrong. You are not prickly. You're an asshole. Hugh, I remember your slogan when you ran for mayor, for Tempe's brightest future. What I didn't realize was that after you were elected, you were going to replace all the amber streetlights on Mill and Rio Salado with laser beams. Do you remember when I complained about that? You said for me to meet with your light expert, Grace Kelly. I said, well, tell her that Jimmy Stewart has burned out his retinas walking down Mill. But that's true, that part about Grace Kelly. She was actually very nice. She told me that one of the reasons they were going with the laser beam replacement bulbs was that they cast a truer light and cops could identify crimes being committed better. I felt better ever since. Speaking of crimes, now that we have Mark Mitchell as mayor-elect, okay, I was debating whether I was going to use that line or not, Mark, honestly, but what are you going to do, not vote for me? Anyway, now that we have Mark Mitchell, we continue an obvious trend in Tempe. We keep electing mayors who consistently talk faster than the last. I'm suspending my campaign for mayor right now, because the next fellow is going to have to be an auctioneer. I do regret that I never got to serve on council with you, Hugh. It would have saved me a lot of time. In answer to any question, I would have been able to hear what you think, when you first thought it, why you thought it, who you thought it with, why they thought about it but didn't because you thought of it, and then you explain why I was thinking of it and it didn't matter because you'd already thought of it. I want to thank you so much for your city council campaign advice too. You said it would make a hell of a difference in my campaign. Well, duh. I guess I should have asked the next friggin' question. I'm sure there are some members of City Council here tonight, and I want you to know that you've all been in my thoughts too. Apparently, the voters have kept at least one thing in perspective. The last thing they wanted was for an effective lobbyist to join the City Council. But sincerely, along with Mayor Hallman, I do appreciate all of your advice on campaigning in Tempe. I started out with nothing, and today, I still have most of it. And welcome to technology in my new iPhone with automatic spell check. I apologize for the confusing message, Hugh, but I did not text you, quote, you piece of shut, unquote. I have a few old cowboy songs I'd like to recommend for your pending retirement as our mayor. Just a couple, like, I'm so miserable without you, it's like you're still here. Or my personal favorite, if the phone don't ring, you'll know it's me. Did you ever see those commercials for Dos Equis beer? The most interesting man in the world commercials? I think of you, Hugh, in that mysterious voice with the funny music in the background. And I would say this about Hugh Hallman. He's the only man who can leave one meeting and arrive at the next before he left. Approximately 1/3 of his body weight is pure adrenaline. He can do a sidekick standing on one leg and has pictures to prove it. His photographic memory extends to events that haven't even happened yet. His subconscious thoughts are actually spoken. His ultimate plan for the Hayden Flour Mill renovations is in a file labeled, Gotcha. His approval ratings are so high that Sky Harbor finally has routed planes away from North Tempe's airspace. He is able to remedy his bladder problem by passing a bridgestone instead of a kidney stone. Okay, that's about enough. Hugh, in all seriousness, you've been a marvelous mayor, a wonderful friend, a truly brilliant architect of Tempe's brightest future. And I know I speak for everyone here on this final thought. Hugh, we'll miss you, but our aim will improve. Good night, everybody.